What's up? Welcome back to another video. Today we're doing another top 10 list. My top 10 Spider-Man movies. Now if you saw, I did my top 10 TMNT things ever made, ranked them. Go watch that video. And I thought that was really fun to make and really fun to do. So I wanted to take another one of my favorite things, which is Spider-Man, and rank the 10 movies that they have made. Just like my Ninja Turtles video, this list is all opinion based, so it might seem controversial to some people that think something should be ranked higher or lower, but that doesn't matter because it's my list. So if you disagree, comment down below what you disagree with and what your pick would be. But this is an opinion based list, so these are my picks. So these are going to be ranking the 10 main movies that have been made, and I'm ranking them from 10 all the way to number 1. So starting out with 10, we got Spider-Man 3. Now, I can't really say how much I don't like this movie, but I don't like this movie. Too many villains. I think it's cringy as all get out.
I'd love to shoot you sometime.
Peter Parker.
I just think they fumbled it with this one. I wish they would have made Spider-Man 4 to redeem themselves, or Sam Raimi to redeem himself from this piece of hot garbage, but it is what it is, and I guess we got the first 2 movies to be okay with, so that's my number 10 pick for obvious reasons. My number 9 pick, I got Spider-Man Far From Home. Spider-Man Far From Home is definitely the worst out of the Tom Holland trilogy. I don't know, it's just a lot of it's kind of cringe to me, and they took Spider-Man out of New York, and the way they did it, they kind of also fumbled. Like, I think if you're going to take him out, you have so many other opportunities to do something cool with it, but you just took him on vacation and, you know, had him out of his suit for half the movie. It just didn't sit right with me. I love Jake Gyllenhaal in it. I enjoy watching this movie for the visuals, but then I kind of remember how the story is, and I don't like it. So that's why that's number 9 for me. Not terrible, but not that good. All right, number 8. This is probably going to be the first really, really hot take to a lot of people. I have the original Spider-Man. So Sam Raimi's original first Spider-Man movie is my number 8. I think this movie's hella corny. Yes, it's nostalgic. Yes, it started it all. So that is why it is even, not even lower for me. But I've rewatched this a couple times lately, and it's just like, I don't know what it is. It's just kind of corny to me. I still do like it a lot, though. Do not get me wrong. It's an OG. It's a classic. I just think every Spider-Man movie above it that I'm going to name is just slightly better or a lot better. All right, now time for my number 7 pick, which is The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Now, this movie is way overhated. If you fix Electro, make him a little less goofy, and do not add the Green Goblin, this is a amazing movie. I think Andrew Garfield is the best Spider-Man, no doubt about it. I think this movie is so fun. It's very nostalgic for me. I watched this one way more than I watched the first one when I was younger, but obviously this one's ranked lower than the first. But that is only because now that I get older, I can kind of realize certain things that writers fumble, and they fumbled a lot with this. But it's still a really, really fun movie, and I just love Andrew Garfield, so I could not put it any lower than 7 because it's overhated. All right, number 6 is Spider-Man Homecoming. So this is the first in the Tom Holland trilogy. When this came out, I absolutely loved it. The only thing, though, I just didn't really like how they kind of try to portray him like Iron Man. The same thing as in Far From Home. It's like he's trying to live up to Iron Man. It doesn't really feel like an authentic one-for-one Spider-Man story like all the other ones. And yeah, you can use the argument like, oh, they were trying to do something new, but I don't know. I just think that in Homecoming, they did it way better than they did in Far From Home. That is only because they used Tony Stark kind of like an Uncle Ben in Homecoming, but it still could have been fixed a little bit. But I really do like this movie. I think this was a great introduction for Tom Holland. He is a great Spider-Man, and I think he portrayed it perfectly in this as a first movie. All right, officially cracking the top 5. At number 5, I have The Amazing Spider-Man. So this was the first Spider-Man movie of the amazing ones, with Andrew Garfield, and I call him the Amazing Ones because that's the name, and Andrew Garfield's amazing. He's just awesome as Spider-Man. I think he's perfect. I love the comedic timing he has.
You know, in the future, if you're gonna steal cars, don't dress like a car thief, man.
I love how like long and lanky he is, and I think, you know, the only argument people have against him in this is that he's too cool. And I also think it was fresh to not have him be exactly like Tobey Maguire as for the first time they rebooted Spider-Man. So making him slightly different as Peter Parker, I don't think is a bad thing. I think OG Tobey Maguire fans just hated it because it was different, which just happens a lot with reboots. Doesn't make it bad though. I love the Lizard. Give him a smidge more backstory, amazing villain, and it would have upped the movie even more. But I just love the way they did Spider-Man in this, and the web swinging is the best out of any Spider-Man movie. Don't at me. All right, at number 4, we have the best Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire movie, which is Spider-Man 2. Now, they upped the action in this, they dropped the corniness from the first one, and Doc Ock's an amazing villain. And that's pretty much it. They upped the things that were great about the first, and they toned down the things that were bad, and that's why I like it so much more than the first. And it's a classic. It's the best out of the Sam Raimi trilogy, easily. I think the story in this of how he has to find himself to be Spider-Man again is awesome. Okay, top 3. Number 3, we have Across the Spider-Verse. Now, this is the newest entry on the list. Saw this a couple times in theaters, and it was awesome. Spider-Verse movies are just top tier. They're goated. The animation, just innovative. It's crazy. And I love how Miles and everybody was a little bit older in this, and you're kind of growing with him. And I think it's just amazing. Just a great, great sequel, and having a level of consistency that I don't think any Spider-Man trilogy has done. And I'm so excited for Beyond the Spider-Verse. I think this movie was a perfect setup for that. Maybe left us on too big of a cliffhanger. RIP to the Crybaby fans, though, because I kind of liked it. Now it's hyping it up insane for the next movie. Number 2, I probably spoiled it with saying that about the last one, but it's Into the Spider-Verse. Like I said, this is neck and neck with Across the Spider-Verse, but just because it's the OG, and I think I like it a little bit more because it has more of Peter B. Parker in it. I think that is literally the one complaint about Across the Spider-Verse I have, is that the lack of Peter B. Parker. I think him and Miles are such a good duo together. And I love Miles, you know, a whole movie just about Miles by himself. No Peter B. Parker would be great. But I think his chemistry with Peter in this movie is just so good that I was missing it in the second one. And that's probably the only reason why I have this one above Across the Spider-Verse. I love it. The soundtrack, oh my God, it's amazing. And just reinvented animation, and it's just awesome. All right, and at my number 1 spot, I have Spider-Man No Way Home. Now, this does not nearly crush any of the Spider-Verse movies. It just slightly beats them out, but it is still my number 1 for the sole fact of it brings Andrew back, which is my favorite Spider-Man. It brings Tobey back, which is the OG Spider-Man, still amazing. And it's Tom Holland's best Spider-Man performance, which I was waiting for before this came out. And the 3 of those things together definitely makes it my number 1. Yes, it's kind of nostalgia bait, especially with all the villains, but I don't give a shit. It's still awesome. It's amazing. I love all the villains. They fixed Electro, which also ups this for me. Oh my God, it's an amazing movie. That end battle scene where they're all, and whenever they're interacting is just awesome.
You ready?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That was it.
Wow. That's good.
There is a couple gripes I have with this movie. You know, some plot holes, some, you know, I wish Doctor Strange wouldn't have been in it as much. But I think the way it ended and how they're setting up Tom Holland's next couple Spider-Man movies, I think it's going to be more focused on Spider-Man, and I think that makes this movie okay for the certain characters they had in it. And I really love it, and I was seeing all my childhood freaking Spideys back together, and it was just awesome. All right, so that is my top 10 list of all the Spider-Man movies ranked. If you agree with me, cool, awesome, let me know. If you don't, Cool, awesome. Let me know. Comment also down below any other top 10 lists you want me to do for movie franchises, favorite movies, favorite TV shows, favorite video games, favorite characters of anything. You comment it, I'll do it. Like, subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. I love all you guys who are watching and all the guys who support, or girls. I love everyone, and peace out. See you guys for the next list.